Hi guys. So I thought we'd look at a couple of things you can think about if you're stuck at home, self-quarantined and training Wing Chun at home. So the first thing you can do is, if you don't have a dummy, find some sort of straight arm, even a sink plunge you just stick in on your wall or something, and use that as a training tool and a centerline reference. And you can do all of your drills against this arm, all the solo drills. You can even practice bong lap, you can even practice follow-ups, you can even practice stepping in, you can even practice two punches by going from bong sao round to tan sao. Go through all of your drills that way. And another thing that people don't often do is, a lot of times you're stood square on to whatever it is and you go through the drills, which is great, it's what I just said. But also think about the fact that strikes aren't necessarily going to be coming in from that angle. So change yourself. So if you stand at a slight angle and the punch comes in this way, how does your tan sao work? How does your bong sao work? How does pat sao change? How do you follow up strike change? Or maybe you put just one leg forward, it could be your hit, and the straight line punch is coming. And you think about how to deal with it. So you can step and apply techniques. And even apply bong sao, and then the step in changes, because if you have one leg forwards and you step out this way, when you step forward it's going to feel a little bit different to bring your leg in this way or just circle in. Then you can even take it to extreme, punch comes into a side, stepping back and applying it. So it's all the same mechanics, I'm just dropping my right foot back, and now I've got my third angle, and I'm still covering the centre line. Essentially what's happening is my right foot, rather than if I turned and applied lap sao here, my right foot is much further forwards than it was here, so I'm much more angled on. So maybe if I follow up, my left foot stays forwards, my right foot stays back. So as opposed to here, when I turn and I step in, if I've stepped back to avoid and thrown something forwards, when I step in now, it's probably more economical to keep this leg forwards and this leg back. You can even take it further, and then if you're going to kick, knee strike, all these other things are there for you to work on, and they're different, so you can work on different things. You could even push the line of your sight, so how much can you see? At this point I can just about see that arm, which means I can work with it. I can still step back and cover. I might want to step this way and cover. I can still work with the different angles that different problems might present. What if you, instead of square on, one foot is ever so slightly forwards? It all changes it, and you can all work with it and drill it. So you can change one foot forward and drill. You can drill all of it the same as when you stand square on and go diligently through all of your basic Wing Chun techniques. You can do it with all these variety and different angles. The other thing I wanted to pick up was a strike. So that's some angles, so you can work on the strike. So a lot of times people tend to throw the punch forwards, but they forget the little flick of energy here in the wrist. So as you make contact, it goes in to the target and delivers. And without this little flick here, you're not going to deliver the energy as efficiently without it. So it's contact and in. Okay, so you can see it close up. This is my striking area. It drives in and up here. This is going to add to the upward movement of the punch, which takes them upwards, removes their rooting and ability to grip the floor and deliver power. So remember, we're striking with these bottom three knuckles here, and when you form your fist, you've got to make sure you form it correctly. Lock the thumb over, make sure these three knuckles are in a line, and that's how you deliver the punch. But it's going to go up like this. When you punch you on a wall bag, I'd advise not pulling back a long way, but make it difficult for yourself. Get as close as possible and then deliver the power. Okay, so something you might want to try is if you place your fist on the wall bag, it could be any surface, and then push forward as hard as you can. So don't lean forwards, don't let your weight do it, but stand in your stance, put one hand forwards. I'm in Bumar, you probably can't see, but I'm in Bumar. My hand is forwards, and what I'm doing is I'm now applying pressure, which you can't see at all, doesn't look like anything, but I'm pushing forwards as hard as I can, driving up from the floor, through the back leg, through my core, through the elbow, into the wall bag. As I push, what that's doing is if I'm doing it correctly, it's telling me what parts of my body and muscles are engaging to deliver that strike. Then you relax, and then you can focus on different parts of the body to deliver that strike. So for example, you could focus on the muscles in the leg that you felt, and then you can maybe move it to the core. And all I'm doing is I'm just focusing on that body part, because I've been pushing here and I've felt some pressure moving through it. I'm aware of that part of my body, so then when I relax, I know where it is because I can feel it, and then I concentrate on that to deliver the power forwards. Remember, you're still using on-off energy, so you're landing, applying energy, and switching off immediately, so you're not getting energy fed back. So that on-off, you can also use whatever body part you're working on to do it. So you could, for example, go on-off with the legs, or maybe focusing on the twitch of the hips or the core, or maybe the elbow, or like we were saying before, the wrist, and just focusing on that on-off on the wall bag. You could also do this with palm strikes, Faxao, any strike you want to practice. Obviously, apart from elbow strikes, you can practice on the wall bag and practice using this method. And I'm always trying to keep fairly close and then dropping in. Remember, using the weight of the limb, weight of the body, just to go forwards. If you want to practice that a little bit, what you can do is you could slap the wall bag, and when I'm doing that, I'm just allowing my hand to fall relaxed. They call it wet noodle energy, similar to when you're employing a heavy hand. Just do that a few times, and then practice on delivering it with the fist as well.